Hi. Today we are going to discuss about society. The concept of society is given different meanings by different writers. It is difficult to find a definition which will be universally accepted by all sociologists. It does not, of course, mean that society means different things to different men. It will be more appropriate to say that different sociologists look at society from different angles and emphasize one or two aspects more than others. According to Iver, society is a system of usages and procedures, of authority and mutual aid, of many groupings and divisions, of controls of human behavior and of liberties. This ever-changing, complex system we call society. It is the web of social relationships. And it is always changing. According to Cooley, society is a complex of forms or processes, each of which is living and growing by interaction with the others, the whole being so unified that what takes place in one part affects all the rest. Society has some characteristics. First one is likeness. Likeness is the most important characteristic of society. Famous sociologist Iver opines that society means likeness. Without a sense of likeness, there could be no mutual recognition of belonging together and therefore no society. This sense of likeness was found in early society on kinship, and in modern societies the conditions of social likeness have broadened out into the principles of nationality. Society consists of like-bodied and like-minded individuals. Friendship, intimacy and association of any kind would be impossible without likeness. It also helps in the understanding of one by the other. That is why F.H. Giddings opines that society rests on the consciousness of kind. The second characteristic of society is differences. Along with likeness, differences are another important characteristic of society. Because society involves differences and it depends on it as much as on likeness. That is why Iver opines that primary likeness and secondary differences create the greatest of all institutions, the division of labor. Because differences is complementary to social relationship. If people will be alike in all respects, society could not be formed and there would be little reciprocity and relationship became limited. Family as the first society based on biological differences and differences in aptitude, interest and capacity. Though differences is necessary for society, but differences by itself does not create society. Hence differences is subordinate to likeness. The third characteristic of society is interdependence. Interdependence is another important characteristic of society. This fact of interdependence is visible in every aspect of present-day society. Famous Greek philosopher, Aristotle, remarked that man is a social animal. As a social animal he is dependent on others. The survival and well-being of each member is very much dependent on this interdependence. No individual is self-sufficient. He has to depend on others for food, shelter and security, and for the fulfillment of many of his needs and necessities. With the advancement of society, this degree of interdependence increases manifold. Family being the first society is based on the biological interdependence of the sexes. Not only individuals are interdependent but also the groups, communities and societies. The fourth characteristic of society is cooperation and conflict. Both cooperation and conflict are two another important characteristics of society. Because famous sociologist Iver once remarked that society is conjugation operation crossed by conflict. Cooperation is essentially essential for the formation of society. Without cooperation there can be no society. People can't maintain a happy life without cooperation. Family being the first society rests on cooperation. Cooperation avoids mutual destructiveness and results in economy in expenditure. Like cooperation, conflict is also necessary for society. Conflict acts as a cementing factor for strengthening social relations. In a healthy and well-developed society both cooperation and conflict coexist. Because with the help of these two universal processes society is formed. Conflict makes cooperation meaningful. Conflict may be direct and indirect. However, both are necessary for society. The fifth characteristic of society is a network or web of social relationship. Social relationships are the foundation of society. That is why famous sociologist Iver remarked that society is a network of social relationship. Hence it is difficult to classify social relationships. But this social relationship is based on mutual awareness or recognition, to which Cooley call we feeling, Giddings call consciousness of kind, and Thomas as common propensity. Without these social relationships no society could be formed. As social relationships are abstract in nature, so also the society is abstract in nature. Different kinds of social processes like cooperation, conflict constantly takes place in society. And the relationships established around these create society. Hence a network of social relationships which created among individuals constitutes society. The sixth characteristic of society is permanent nature. Permanency is another important characteristic of society. It is not a temporary organization of individuals. Society continues to exist even after the death of individual members. Society is a coherent organization. The seventh characteristic of society is abstract. Society is an abstract concept. As Iver opines, society is a web of social relationships. We can't see this relationship but we can feel it. Hence it is an abstract concept. Wright has rightly remarked that society in essence means a state or condition, a relationship, and is, therefore, necessarily an abstraction. Besides, society consists of customs, traditions, folkways, mores and culture which are also abstract. Hence society is abstract in nature. The eighth characteristic of society is dynamic. The very nature of society is dynamic and changeable. No society is static. Every society changes and changes continuously. Old customs, traditions, folkways, mores, values and institutions got changed and new customs and values takes place. Society changes from its traditional nature to modern nature. Hence it is one of the most important characteristic of society. The ninth characteristic of society is comprehensive culture. Culture is another important characteristic of society. Each and every society has its own culture which distinguishes it from others. Culture is the way of life of the members of a society and includes their values, beliefs, art, morals, etc. Hence culture is comprehensive because it fulfills the necessities of social life and is culturally self-sufficient. Besides, each and every society transmits its cultural pattern to the succeeding generations. The 10th characteristic of society is something more than mere collection of individuals. No doubt society consists of individuals. But mere collection of individuals is not society. It is something more than that and something beyond the individual. Durkheim is right when he remarked that society is more than the sum of its parts, that is individuals. The 11th characteristic of society is accommodation and assimilation. This too associative social process is also important for the smooth functioning and continuity of society. Hence it is also another characteristic of society. I hope everyone understood the class. Our next video is about types of society. If you like this class, please like the video or dislike if you do not like the class. Your likes and comments are being prompted to do more of our videos. And also please subscribe our channel and enable the bell icon to get our next video. If you want to get slides shown in the video, please like our Facebook page. We provided Facebook page link in the description. Thank you.